video. Today I have a very special guest with me, my husband, Dorian. Hi, baby. Welcome to the channel. I feel like this video is a long time coming. This is a video that we've been wanting to do for literally years. And so finally we're sitting down and we're doing it. So this video is very special because I am so excited for you to learn about Dorian's story and his testimony and how he got into health, into wellness, how his life was transformed many years ago, and to share it with you so that you can just feel inspired, motivated. I feel like we can all learn from each other's life stories. So thank you for coming on, babe.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
This is such a treat.
I know, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I have a video here on my channel on how Dorian and I met. I'll link it below. So that will give you some context to this story. So the first question I have for you is, can you share your journey? Like, how did your journey into health, wellness, into a life of awareness and consciousness, how did it start? Can you share a little bit about that?
Of course, yeah. So, growing up when I was younger, we weren't allowed to drink soda. I was learned at an early age by my dad to learn how to read nutritional labels. So this is something that's always been really ingrained in me, especially at a very young age. We were with that one family that couldn't order soda when we were having dinner with another family, and all their kids were ordering soda. And that's something I learned to appreciate as I got older, but would get a little upset and frustrated at the time, and so there's the whole seed oil free craze happening now, and we've been doing that since the day I was born, essentially. So that's nothing new, nothing foreign to me and to my family. And so at a very early age, this idea of being healthy, ingesting healthy things was always a thing. It was always present. So fast track to my last year of high school, I was involved in a horrific accident where I was the driver, and my younger brother Dylan unfortunately passed away in the accident. And obviously after following the accident, I dealt with a lot of guilt, pain, physical pain, emotional pain, lack of sleep. And that was obviously a pivotal moment in my life to where I had to really heal and grieve for the very first time in a significant way. And so following the accident, I went the traditional path of Western medicine as it's known, right? The psychiatry drugs and antidepressants and sleep meds and all those types of things. I was told by my psychiatrist at the time, this will take me to a better place. Those were the words that he repeated every time I saw him. And it even made me question, why do I need these? Why am I taking these? And a couple of years later, I knew that this was not a path to where I can fully heal, or even begin to heal, or even allow my body to do what it needs to do to feel better. And so I started seeking alternatives. I started going to the supplement aisle at.
And how did you know to do that? To seek alternatives?
It was something that was a voice inside of me. Ultimately, I started seeking alternative practitioners. I started doing yoga. I started doing yoga therapeutic massage. I started doing acupuncture, chiropractic care. I went and found a naturopath. So I think it was kind of one thing led to the other. And I was at that time, just very open-minded to, you know,
to trying
open-minded and also dedicated to finding ways to heal and ultimately get off the medication. That was like a big goal of mine. It was just to get off the medication and not just get off of it, but detoxify from it, because I learned that, you know, medication ends up staying in your system for a long time, ends up doing damage. And so it wasn't just like, okay, I'm going to get off this. I want to get off this properly. I want to detoxify. I want to also incorporate other healing modalities to heal and to feel better and to feel amazing. Through all of that, I learned quite a bit, and eventually I decided, okay, now it's time to actually get off this medication. It was a very very heavy, awful medication that I was on. You have to be very careful on how you get off of these things, and that's why it's so important to detoxify. And it came to a point where I was slowly getting off of it, but not quick enough for how quickly I wanted to get off it. So I just decided, which I don't recommend anybody to do, to go cold turkey off of it. And it was a very difficult couple weeks and even months during my, during a first semester in my third year of college. But it was the best decision I've ever made, because it was like almost like a fresh start. It was like a reset. And that was when I could really start healing and getting better and finally sleeping naturally. So that it was like a true sense of freedom. Ultimately, and that's what I was really looking for, was freedom, health, feeling good and all that, but ultimately freedom.
So from everything that you were learning, I know that a big part of your journey was finding out about water and finding out the differences of water and how water is not created equal and how much water can impact our health. So what was it that you learned?
So something, I talked a lot about detoxification, right? So detoxifying means like removing toxins and things that really shouldn't be in our body, or recalibrating certain things in our body. And so I, also learned just the importance of clean water, right? So I totally agree. Not all water is created equal, and that's something that, really stood out to me. But, we're bombarded by toxins and, whether it's microplastics or heavy metals or pharmaceuticals, so much of that ends up in our water. So we need to ensure that we're starting off with just clean water. But it's not just clean water. It's also, because oftentimes when we filter out water, we're removing the contaminants, but we're also removing the good stuff, the good minerals, the things that water ultimately really wants and needs, and that our bodies want and need.
So this is what led you to the idea to create the bottle DYLN.
Yeah, so one of my practitioners at the time, who helped me, start DYLN, my company, introduced me to certain minerals and how they can have a big impact on water. One of those minerals being magnesium. And most people are deficient in magnesium, and in nature, a lot of spring water is going to contain magnesium. And so, we had the idea of how to figure out how to get these minerals into a portable solution where it was always there. You didn't really have to think about it, right? You didn't have to add anything to your water. You didn't have to add powders. You didn't have to add drops. You didn't have to, fill up your water with any special water, a special water source. Like the bottle is the source, right? And so that was the
Can you show the
concept.
Can you show the bottle? So this is the bottle. Many of you have maybe seen it. I've shared about it a lot. And so inside the bottle there is a diffuser. It's not a filter, it doesn't filter out the water, it's a diffuser. And I'll show you an image right here. And this diffuser essentially is made of vitamins, right?
Yeah, so that's our trademark.
And you and Dorian, you invented it, you patented it.
Yeah, so the whole idea with this product was to deliver, healthy, hydrating water in like a package that we're all used to using every day, right? And so that's a water bottle, right? So how can we take the water bottle and actually have it add value to what it's intended for, right? Which is to contain and carry water around, right?
Yeah.
So the tricky part was to get this diffuser on the bottom of the bottle, right, with our vitamins, the mineral, all natural vitamins, and that's it. Like it was designed to be as simple as that, where the water can interact with the vitamins in the bottom of the bottle, and then we're essentially drinking like spring water, right? So the bottle ends up being like the source of vitality for the water to give life back to the water.
And you can tell the difference in the taste. Like the water tastes like natural spring water. It's very fresh and crisp and tastes good. So you realize that like it's not that water tastes sucks, it's that water is actually meant to taste good. But most people are just drinking really bad, crappy water.
Yeah, there's a misconception that water is just H2O. It's H2O plus all these different things. And so, and good things and bad things, and so it's not just H2O. It's rarely ever just H2O. And so we, again, it doesn't filter water. So we always recommend, I recommend anybody. I think it's probably one of the best health investments anybody can make is, invest in clean water, a clean water source. And then what you want to do is remineralize it, right? You want to make sure you're giving life back into that water and not just removing contaminants from the water. So, we at our home here, we have, whole home water filter. We have our water source here actually in our house is all rainwater, right? So rainwater is rain. It doesn't have much in it, which is great in the sense that there's not going to be a lot of contaminants in it or a lot of other, hard minerals and things like that. But we want to give life back to that water. So we go through actually 2 filtration systems before it ends up in the DYLN bottle, and the DYLN bottle will help to remineralize that water, give life back to that water. And so, when we first launched the DYLN bottle, it was the whole alkaline water craze. And our bottle did that very effectively. It increased the pH of the water to make the water alkaline. But something that our bottle also did was create antioxidant water, right? Because of the ability for the vitamins through the elemental magnesium, to create hydrogen gas in the water. That's why a lot of people that have our bottle will see little bubbles come from the diffuser, and those are that's hydrogen gas.
And what are the benefits of hydrogen water?
So some of the benefits of hydrogen water are, it allows the water to penetrate our cells more effectively, to hydrate us better than typical water, right? A lot of the water we drink, if it's restaurant water or tap water or typical bottled water, is not hydrating us efficiently. That's the whole purpose. One of the main purposes of drinking water, right, is to hydrate. And so that's the benefit that I like to tout the most. There's all these other benefits like, helps reduce inflammation, helps recovery, post-workout and things like that. But, the biggest one in my mind is the hydration aspect, right? Is that it's going to more efficiently hydrate our bodies. And that's really what's going to get people to drink water in the first place, to drink more water. Like you were mentioning, it does make the water taste better, smoother, softer, and most people are like, water's all the same, right? Water's, and so that's just not true. I mean, our customers can attest to that. Yeah. That's why.
And also, if you don't if you don't have good water, you probably have fluoride in your water, you have chlorine, you have all these other contaminants that essentially you're putting into your body, and that is affecting your health. So the quality of the water that you drink is really important. And also, you don't want to be buying water in plastic either, because all of the microplastics are going to go into your water. And so the best is just to invest in a good water filter and then enhance your water. Like, I feel like this part of the water is a very important step before you drink it, because you're not just drinking like filtered water. Like, this is actually water that is going to benefit your body and make you feel better and help you live longer too, and healthier. Right?
Perfectly said.
So you created this bottle, and was this a way for you, like, why did you want to create it?
Yeah, so I obviously named the company after my brother Dylan, and that was something that was important and special to me, not just to me, but also to my family. They're the ones that helped give me the idea, inspire me to name the company after my brother Dylan. And it's something, it's in part a dedication to him and to my journey after his passing. And so this is something.
I just want to say that once when we met, and you shared this story with me, I thought, wow, that is so brave of him to go through something like that. I can't even imagine how hard that was and how hard that is. But watching you just go through that and use it in a way to make you better, and now with Dylan to share that with the world and help others become better is very inspiring and admirable.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah. And there's something really exciting happening right now with Dylan, right? Can you tell us a little bit about the campaign?
So just recently, we launched our first equity crowdfunding raise through WeFunder. And so WeFunder is a platform where anybody in the world can invest a small amount or a large amount into growing, small and growing businesses. And so Dylan chose to go the crowdfunding route, so that way anybody could invest, our customers or any of you. We're leveraging the power of community to help build a better company and to grow Dylan and to reach more people. We're also launching some super exciting new products this year that have the potential to revolutionize the way we drink, not just water, but also coffee and tea. And so just really, it's an exciting time. And I'm just so grateful to be able to launch this campaign to where anybody can be a part of our success and our growth. And it's just, I feel like it's the way of the future, to open things up, to allow more people into these businesses that are doing great things. And I believe Dylan is one of those. I really believe in our product. I use it every day. I selfishly designed this product for myself, for my family, for my friends, and for everybody. It's a very high quality product. I put my heart and soul into it, and it gives back in so many ways, especially in people's health and wellness and ultimately their hydration, which I believe is the foundation to health.
So if you want to learn more about the WeFunder campaign and learn the full story of the Dylan bottle, I will leave a link right here in the description box, and you can also invest directly there. So super exciting, babe. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
This is so cool. And thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your journey, sharing your heart, and for creating this amazing product.
Thank you for having me and for all of your support.
Bye guys, see you in the next one.